What's going on, Scorpio? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be a reading for April 2023. So in this reading, Scorpio, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the month of April. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice for you from your angels and spirit guides and so much more regarding April 2023. But before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know, Scorpio, that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, and I really do appreciate you in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading happens to resonate with you, Scorpio, definitely smash that like button. Subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and pull the energy and see what it is that wants to come through for you for April 2023, Scorpio. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Scorpio. Thank you. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here for you, Scorpio, for April 2023. Yeah, I like this energy. Seems pretty good so far. Let's go ahead and see, though. All right. Haha. Yes. Okay. All right. So overall, I almost called you April. Some of you may have a named April. Probably not. But overall, I think you're going to have a really great, fun, steady, full of love month. Especially for those of you who are dating someone, or if you're in a committed relationship here, Scorpio. I really feel like there's a lot of progress that's going to be made between you and someone. But that's on the surface level. Let's not, because sometimes I just jump to the most important, intense thing that I see in the reading, which you may appreciate as a Scorpio, but I'm gonna stick to the order that I feel called to for some reason. We start your reading off with the Chariot. All right, Scorpio. The Chariot here, I feel like there's a lot of progress you can make in your career in April 2023. The Chariot here is all about willpower. It's about a vehicle that gets you from point A to point B. It's also about freedom of movement, and also about the blending of opposites with those two, the black and white sphinx there. So with this energy being your opportunity here, Scorpio, for April, don't be afraid to work really hard this month, but it's almost like a month of work hard, play hard. Work hard, play hard. There's going to be a renewed enthusiasm, by the way, for you and your career aspirations in April 2023, no matter who you are. I get there being a sense of, why haven't I been working my ass off for this? There's almost a feeling of you're getting into the flow and you're like, why haven't I just been pushing into this level the whole time? That's the frequency it's coming through as. We're going to have to see. When it comes to your challenge, you have the Temperance card. And the Temperance card as your challenge, is to do with moderation. Tempering something is kind of calming it down, healing, kind of dissolving any sort of impurity in your life. But the main message that I came through, the more intense one, especially for those of you in a love situation, it's almost like you're in the honeymoon phase, or you may not literally be in the honeymoon phase, but it's almost like, I'm just letting you know, there's going to be a conflict in your love life down the line. Not in April, though. Not in April. Everything seems to go smooth, but what I'm getting from this is a lot of you out there, especially if you're very sensitive to subtle energy and you and most of you are if you watch this channel, there's some sort of issue that you're basically sweeping under the rug, and I actually think you have a right to do it. I think there's a certain thing to be said about optimism versus pessimism, and I feel for you that April is a really good month to be optimistic, Scorpio, especially about your love life, but there's this little voice in your head that's telling you, hey, well, what about when this happens? Or what about when we address this little issue that we have with the person? We're not going to do it in April. For most of you, you could. But for a lot of you, you're not. Because when it comes to your overall general energy, and we're going to get into it more when we clarify, but for now, you're looking golden here, Scorpio. You really are. You have the Ace of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles, and you have that Two of Cups. So not only do you have inspiration, with me being an Aries, I'm all about that inspiration. I'm just receive, download, receive, download, receive, download, but then it's hard for me to act on it. With you, with that Knight of Pentacles, I mean, you're acting on some sort of inspiration that you have, and you have this Two of Cups to top it all off, which is harmonious relations between you and a loved one. For many of you, this is a romantic partner. Now, some of you could be going into business with someone, but for many of you, no. There is a sense of harmony, excitement. You just have the whole package here for you, really, Scorpio. I mean, whatever you got going on in love, you have a lot to look forward to. You have a lot of fun to be had. But once again, it's that energy of work hard, play hard. You do have the Knight of Pentacles. You could be making long-term plans. Okay, that's what this is about, I think. Because I'm just getting an energy of you could be making long-term plans with a partner or someone, your partner. For a lot of you, this is what it is. Your partner maybe, hey, some sort of thing about making long-term plans, or some sort of more some sort of finality or officiality, or something happens to the relationship that progresses it. And that could be something you're in the developmental stages of, so it's great. But when it gets to the point of marriage, or when it gets to the point of there's some sort of issue around commitment that you have long-term with the person, even though it's great right now. And so I'm not even saying you have to worry about it too much. I'm saying you're going to have to down the road. But, yeah, I mean, let's go ahead and go to what you don't see coming. When it comes to what you don't see coming here, Scorpio, you do have the Death card, but that's all about, it's not a bad one. And you have the Queen of Pentacles, the centerpiece to your reading, and you also have the Eight of Pentacles here. So, with the Knight of Pentacles being here and your overall general energy, Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, a lot of advancement within your career. Once again, I feel like there's a transformation in your career, or a transformation around beliefs around money, or your finances in general, your home life, some sort of stability. A lot of you are going to be feeling much more stable now. And there could also be a death to indecision, by the way, because the Death card is right underneath the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is about an inspired thing, and because it's right next to the Knight of Pentacles, you're actually acting on it. And so there's a death to indecision, basically. There's some sort of decision you're making about your career, even if it's just, okay, this month I'm going to put in 10% more effort. And it's the frequency I'm getting is you are going to be fed energy by doing work. It's feeding you energy. Does it feed you or does it drain you? To give you a personal example, on the one hand, being a tarot reader for everyone on the globe and doing general readings for the general readings is horrific. Do you want to know why? Because most people are, dare I say, morons, or most people are just stuck in, the Matrix has them. So literally I have to come here and I have to do this reading, and I'm you're still stuck on the same thing from last month, and nothing's really changing, and your life still sucks, and I have to take that energy on it and disseminate it to you, and it sucks as a reader. But with the nuances, the reason I do this is because I love it, because it feeds me energy, doing these readings. Even if I'm showing up and I'm doing readings for 90% of the people that I'm doing the readings for aren't going to change, or I'm just pointing out their shadow that they're stuck in, it still feeds me. So there's some sort of challenging, that's a challenge in my career. But for you, it's the same thing. You're just being fed energy by your career. And so, okay, but here's where we get interesting. Here's where it gets interesting, because when it comes to your advice from your spirit guides, Scorpio, you have the Eight of Cups walking right into that tower, but then you do have the Page of Pentacles on the other side of it. So this is your advice, right? So the first thing that I gleaned from this is just there's a tower later on, especially for those of you in a love relationship. There's a tower that could be happening later on in the relationship. Now, for many of you, this could have to do with your career, a certain foundation you had blowing it up. It's really, I'm not really connecting to it, so I'm not just going to say something. We're going to have to clarify to get information about it. But you do have this Page of Pentacles in your advice, so, you know, once again, work hard, do the dirty work, and you'll really start to, like, enjoy doing just the basic monotony of work, you know. Because if you do what you love, you don't work, you never work. But even what I'm getting from this is, even if you're doing something that you don't necessarily love, but you're just doing it because it makes sense and it's how you provide for your family or it's how you put food on the table, no matter what you're doing, you could be doing something that for the past 12 months you hated. I'm not saying you have to change don't change anything. Maybe take inspiration, act on it, tweak it a little, but like, no matter what you do, you could hate your job and you can find joy in it this month, you know? So that's great. And that signature of finding joy in the work will be with you even after this month is over. You'll still have that and you'll know how to tap into it. So that's why you want to double down on that and really get into the flow where it just feeds you, you know? So, I mean, this is one of those readings where I really feel like, what are we even clarifying here? But of course, there's an infinite amount that we can clarify. So, let's do it. Yeah, let's clarify the Chariot. Why is the Chariot here, Scorpio, in your opportunity for April? Ooh, yeah, like pushing past some of your demons around your work, like self-imposed, like thoughts getting in the way, you know. And there's also something about like a mental. There's something about like something about your work that's just like a complete mental barrier. It's almost like if you're like working out and you're doing the last set and you count from like 1 to 10, like if you weren't counting and you were just doing it, it would be like easy because you didn't have this expectation. Whereas like when you get to the 9th set or you get to the 10th set, for some of you you're completing some sort of like degree, or like for some of you you're slowly getting to the end phase of your career where you can transform it or you can really start to receive the fruits. You're almost dissolving, and that's what the Death card is about with the Ace of Wands to the triangle with the Chariot, is you're dissolving some sort of mental resistance around your career that is completely self-imposed. It could have been astrologically imposed as well, because we've never been in a time like we are now. I mean, Pluto has changed sign, and we have never experienced anything like this. So it's just, there's something in the air. Sorry. See, this is annoying, because then it's like, sometimes when I'm shuffling, I get downloads. Let's see why the Chariot is here, Scorpio, for you. 2 more after this. 2 more. Yeah, forward-moving energy that's very healing. You can really go really far. You can really go really far in April. You have the Four of Swords, you have the Page of Wands in reverse, and you also have the 10 of Swords in reverse here when it comes to your opportunity. So definitely like a rebirth, a new beginning here, maturity and healing when it comes to whatever it is your chosen endeavor is. Even in relationships, it's just a smooth month for you. It's good. This is going to be one of the best months for a lot of you in a long time. Just harmony. It's just not much to deal with. The only thing you're really dealing with is, where is this going to lead? Where is this relationship? Am I going to be happy in this relationship? Am I going to be happy in this living situation? Am I going to be happy in this routine, in this job in like a year? You know, and so whether it's expectations from your partner that's telling you, hey, there's something about like into the distant future, there's going to be more responsibility on you or something, you know? So, very interesting, Scorpio. Where are we at? We're at 17 minutes. All right. Let's clarify why let's clarify why that Ace of Wands is here. Because the Ace of Wands is standing out to me. It's the first, I just feel like a lot of you are going to be going outside, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, of just like spring is here, it's great, not a lot of obstacles this month. So, but you're also going to have discipline. Why is the Ace of Wands here? The Ace of Wands is clarified by the High Priestess in reverse, the Eight of Wands, and also the King of Swords. So yeah, this is clarity. High Priestess in reverse is like not intuition, logic, upright, right? Like taking some sort of inspiration, logically doing it, moving forward fast as well. I mean, because you do have this Knight of Pentacles in your overall general energy, which indicates you're going to be moving slowly towards an objective in your career. But in terms of some sort of communication that you're having with yourself or the universe at large in relation to this inspired thing, it's great. Also, I just feel like you're going to be in a new state of clarity when it's to do with a partner as well. Like if you're in a love situation, even if you're single, you really could be meeting someone where it just is very smooth and it's clear and it's like upfront and it's like, wow, it's great. Some of you are also connecting to another Scorpio this month. Not all of you. Because in what you want to come, you have that death card. Yeah, that's all I'm called to say for now. It's like, there's just harm. I don't know, Scorpio. Let's go ahead and clarify why is the Tower here in your advice? Why is the Tower card here in your advice, Scorpio? Yeah, Knight of Cups, Death, Justice in reverse. Okay, well, with this energy being here, love is associated, transformation is associated, justice in reverse is a little scary, to the Tower in your advice. I'm telling you, this is something like, it's, on the one hand, with this Tower being here, it can be a positive Tower. The Tower does not have to be a negative thing. Even the Death card in this reading is indicating something positive to me. So on the one hand, Scorpio, there's a transformation, there's a foundation of ambiguity. There's a foundation of, am I happy in this career? Am I happy in this relationship? That goes away. That foundation of ambiguity is destroyed, but it's not destroyed. It's at a price, though, because you have the Justice card in reverse. So that has to do something weird karmically. Yeah, no, I don't see a problem. I just think if you're leading someone, for some of you, the only way that this harmony is going to be created in the relationship is if you lead them on to believe something that you may know deep down is not going to happen in terms of full commitment and full marriage. This could be in career or relationship. With that being said, I'm going to conclude this reading, Scorpio. I hope that this reading helped you. I hope that it provided you clarity and insight, and I'll talk to you next time.